Hello, my name is Alonzo Von Threet, AVTPro, Advanced Visualization Technology Production. And what I want to do is, what I'm thinking about doing is doing a part two of the video on how to control your animations in a graph editor. And to do that, I was just thinking about it. It's not an idea just hit me. To do it would be to describe it the same way I did yesterday, but in terms of describing the curve. So what I did yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I wanted to thank you also. I had very, 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 very good positive response, and somebody gave a donation to my effort that was very, very generous, and I want to thank you. And I want to invite others to do the same. Feel free. I call myself the homeless animator. This is my friend. What's up, Don? You want to say hi?
Hi,
Hi, this is Don, my friend.
who am I talking to? I'm talking to you.
Yeah, you're talking to me, but I'm talking to the world at large.
Why
I'm talking to the internet community, animators,
Oh,
and that sort of thing. So I'm doing a vlog.
okay.
So what are you doing?
Nothing. I looked over, I didn't see you, so I was keen to see where you're at.
Yeah, I'm right here. So the vlog I am doing is on how it's picking up on yesterday, and so I was just telling my friends here that let me show you this view. Don is sitting. Don is sitting on. It's a great window. So this is a view. I guess they call this the lounge area. I don't know. But the vlog I did yesterday, I basically described animation curves and how to animate. And I said basically this is keeping the curve still because you're putting a point here and a point here. And it's basically only traveling through time. And it's the same unit. I'm trying to think. I don't know why I can't think of same measurement, but it only changes measurement when it goes up. So when you have a diagonal, it's going to a different numerical value. Value is the word I'm looking for. So if it's a 1, it's a 2, a 3, 4, 5. So it only goes up in value. Oh, that is jamming. He's a musician. So it goes up, and he can play really well. He played. No, don't give me the finger. Listen, he played Yes
Not.
from.
Never heard of them.
Yes, he did. No, he figured I never heard of him, but I'm a big Yes fan. He played Roundabouts from Yes.
Never
Thinking
heard
the
of
roundabouts. Anyway, this vlog is supposed to be short, so I better stop being so cavalier or nonchalant. But anyway, so I described yesterday that, or the last video, that in order to have good character animation, your character has to make a pose. Like I can't even subconsciously. Oh, so do a couple of poses.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You could be my assistant. One, you just that. All right. So to do it, he just did. All right, like that. He waved me off, brushed me off. So first thing you have to be the hand down, and then the hand out, and then the hand flip like that. Don't do the finger. We're not doing the finger. That's not that kind of group. So anyway, you do it like that, and to brush me off, and then the hand goes back down. So it goes out. It's still for a minute. Then there's some things happening here, but nothing happens up and down the arm, the elbow, and then the action happens here, and then the elbow takes off. For the time the elbow is out, it's holding still. Now you can graduate it a little bit in and out, but basically it is still. So it is called a moving hold. So the elbow goes out, the arm goes up, elbow goes out, that holds, and then this part is a transition. But there's a lot of different names for that and a lot of different ways to break down that one action. So starting from the elbow, first thing is forward kinematics. So starting from the elbow, the shoulder, you have a rotation, then the elbow, and then the arm, and then the hand. So those are all, they cascade one after another. Okay, I'm trying not to get too complex, but each one will hold at different types. But you can do it in one key pose, and then the next key pose, and back down. And then you can stagger each one to make a delay, and that'll be like a sort of an overlap, or what they call a breaking of joints when it moves one joint at a time instead of all the joints at one time. So basically, it's out and then back down. So that is out, it holds still horizontally, and then the transition, the value change, it goes up. So I'm saying all of that as uh, to help you understand the curves when you actually animate in the graph editor. So it goes up, it holds the elbow, and or if you're using IK, inverse kinematics, you make one move, which is usually easier, but you don't have the same arcing motion, you don't have the same rotation. Using a goal oriented IK arm will only give you one joint, and the inverse comes down the arm. So instead of forward kinematics or forward action, you're doing inverse by just grabbing the elbow. So either way you do it, you still have to juxtapose or offset the curves, offset each one. So what that does, it gives you a slightly overlapping action, and that is called, what I've just described is called overlapping. It's one of the animation principles, which is 12 principles. But what I want to explain about that is there's some more principles, and one of them being overshoot. So when the arm goes out, it actually goes past the point that you're pointing, and then it settles back in. And so that is called overshoot. And the curve, this is my point, is the curve for it will go straight, goes over the point, and then come back, and then settle. So it overshoots. So if you look at any animation or any professional animation curve, you will see most of the curve, instead of it being still here, transition, and then still, and then back down, and then still out, you will see it still, overshoot, come back, and then go. And then now I could have showed you a diagram of it, but it's basically the same thing.
Is there an algorithm for something like that?
Huh?
Is there an algorithm for something like that?
It's and this it would be curves, but there's like million algorithms for that.
It
Yeah.
seems like there's like some sort of like wave.
Oh yeah. There is automatic systems for it. So you have programs now. I forgot the name of it, that will do overlap for you. Don't use it. Learn to do it the hard way.
Oh,
So yes, you can have things that overlap. So overlap is really like this. So like they use a seaweed. So you have this right here, and then there's two keys. But then, don't do that.
hold it so you could.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead. See, my assistant is helping me here. So overlap is when you have like the arm here and then here. You have two keys. So you can do this position and then that position. So you do this one, give it 10 seconds, do that one. And then you can actually, let's say, go halfway in between and then bend it back that way. And what that does is another animation principle called drag. So you go here, here, and then this is something I'm going to call the rule of subdivision. Go right in the middle and then turn it back. So then what happens is it goes like that. And then you can overshoot it. So it goes back, goes past it, comes back, and then drag it back the other way by pointing the hand back towards the last key that it came from. So what you have is this. And so the breaking, the overlap, if you track this point and track this point and drew a line, this will go past this and that'll go past that, and you will see the overlap of that, and that is called overlap. So,
It also looks like a sine wave.
it's like a sine wave. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And but it just goes back and forth. So you have sine waves, like if you're doing like an arm swinging, then that would be like the infinity circle. So it's just this same thing. It's the same principle when an arm swings. So you can use FK to do it and do it along each joint. So the same one, if you were walking, and I'll show you. Glad you're here. So if you do it like this, it's the same thing but the other way. So this is the main key, this is the other key. And then you can go halfway and then bend all the joints back towards the last key there. And then that'll be your drag. It'll look like it's dragging. And then do the same the other way when it's going the other way. So here, and then bend it back towards the last key it came from, and it'll look like it's dragging. So then you have that same goofy cartoon walk that all the characters seem to have. Don't do it that way. Make yours unique. So that's the principle. So there's a little overshoot. So if I did a punch, I'm going to show you how a punch does overshoot. So I'm going to actually tell you all the principles that I wanted to tell you to help you do a great animation. And it's okay. Right now. So the principles that I wanted to tell you would be the first pose, the last pose. I'm gonna give you 5, and you can do almost any animation with these 5 principles. So the first pose, then the last pose, and then there's an anticipation, and then there's an overshoot, and then there's the in-between. You can almost do any animation, any character animation in the world with that. So with the first pose, we're gonna switch it, and that's gonna be your anticipation. So if I wanted to punch you, I would have to draw back. I have a pose, but I would have to draw back, and that's anticipation. So it's literally here, but for some reason I think of it before, but the actual main pose. So I'm gonna punch you, I'd have to draw back, and then I overshoot, which follows into it, and then I settle back. So that's almost 5, it should be about 5 poses. So anticipate, actually midpoint, overshoot, and then back to the point. Now that's with any animation you can get that. And that's what I wanted to explain. Now I probably didn't do that as articulate as I wanted to do it, but because I did it very spur of the moment, but I thought about everything I wanted to say, and I actually hit on everything I wanted to say. Yeah. So basically, whenever you do anything, if I reach for something, I can anticipate it. I have to do a move, and anticipation is really kind of funny. So because it almost tells the audience what you're gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah. It just like anytime you do it, it's just like you know what's gonna happen. So it's a mental thing. Anticipation is a mental thing, where it's like if I was going to, I don't know, grab anything, my hand goes up, you know I'm about to grab something. So, oh, there goes my help. Good help is hard to find. It's like probably chasing a woman anyway. But anyway. So we stay at home together. I know a lot of people. I used to have no social circle. Now I know a ton of people. But anyway, that's the point. There's a long vlog. The point is, I wanted to give you that anticipation will be a curve, and it's almost like the overshoot, but it's just a different curve. Which will happen before the other one. So overshoot usually looks like this, and then like up, across, then I'm sorry. Overshoot actually goes up and then back down, then across, and then regular. Whereas anticipation will be like almost like the opposite and then goes down. So you can have overshoot like that. So it's almost like, you know how you see the boom, 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 but it'll go down usually and then goes over to the overshoot and then back down. So it's like boom, 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 then boom. So I kind of mix it up, but I might show you a chart of that. But those five things: main pose, anticipation, mid pose, like the dragging or the breaking of the joints, and then the overshoot, and then settle. It'll settle back into the normal pose, and that'll be a way long video. I'm just gonna post this on my site because it's just so impromptu, and I wanted to tell you I just thought it was a little bit complex and that I needed to break it down in a different way, but I think it'll be better if I said something about it, and then you can kind of break it down yourself. But it's just basically how your curve will look. The same thing, it just has a little spike for overshoot or a little spike for anticipation, which is the opposite way. So main pose draws back into anticipation is the opposite of the direction you want to go, and then the direction you want to go, which is the transit, and it'll overshoot, and then it'll come back to settle, and that's it. Okay. God bless you. My name is AVTPro, Alonzo Von 3. No, that's not my name. My name is Alonzo Von 3. AVTPro. I'm starting to call myself the homeless animator. I'm doing this in the library, the most beautiful place in the world. And we have an amazing library in Buffalo, New York. And they are great service to the community. Lots of different people are here. And it's a place that you can be inside, stay warm, and maybe sneak in a nap or something. But anyway, so God bless you all. My Cash App is AVTPro with the $ in front, and then I'll put the links in the description for my PayPal, which is a3@adelphia.net. And I hope it's helpful. You can ask me any questions you like, and thank you. Have a great one. Bye now.